Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Chair Yoga. I've been using the book, The Morning Cup of A Morning Cup of Yoga, as my inspiration for the last couple of weeks. And today, the practice today, we're going to focus on the value of how yoga improves your posture and why that's, you know, overall so helpful and impactful on your very sense of well-being. So, good posture translates into a happier state of being. So, um, keep that in mind as we begin. I'm going to read from her book right to begin with. And so let's not waste any time. I want you to start by getting yourself in a place where you feel like you're using your best posture. You're coming forward on the chair seat. You're not going to rely on the backrest. We have a better ability to keep ourselves lifted up and have the spine feel long and strong. Pull your belly in. I say that right off the bat because for me personally, whenever I'm saying, oh, wait, get better posture, I can feel in my body that I'm kind of hunching over or not using good mindful posture. The first thing I do is pull my belly in. It seems to just be the start button for me. So maybe you find your own start button. What helps you recognize that you've kind of pulled yourself out of or gotten back into your habit of poor posture, and what's the start button to get you back on track? So find that for yourself as you come into that. Use the block however it feels useful for you. So if you can, oh, I got some sounds here. Just a moment. Let me make sure I've got. Okay, we just had a little interference there. So use your block in a way that adds to your feeling of better posture. I use mine between my knees quite a bit, also between my ankles, just to bring my legs into a stronger position. But if there's a way that you have found to use the block that is much better and serves you better for this whole idea of posture, go ahead and do that. Use how that would benefit you the most as we get started here. So I'm going to read from her book. In this section is about improving posture, and it gives us a different slant in terms of our general sense, or like our emotional state. That we can link that together. That your posture can influence how you feel about yourself and the world. So let's keep that in mind as we begin. Sometimes poor posture is just a bad habit we acquire along the way. But often a collapsed posture originates in your feeling about yourself. You are not alone if you experience feelings of powerlessness or shame. The idea that we are not okay, not enough, seems to be built into our culture. For many, trying to conform to or overcome a constraining self-image is a source of constant frustration. So one of the results of practicing the yoga asanas, and asana is the word for the postures that we use, the shapes we put our body into, is the improvement of your posture. How we hold our bodies has an influence on our mind and emotions. Now just try this. Try slumping in an exaggerated way. Try slumping in an exaggerated way. Just hold yourself in a way that feels very counter to what we were trying to find. And right away, you feel defeated, dull, discouraged. Slump in only a slight way, and still there is a sense of low energy. On the other hand, sit tall, with heart center open and lifted, legs strong and resolute, and feet firmly planted on the earth. There is an instant translation to the psyche. Don't you feel the difference? You feel stronger and more empowered. So let that be our theme today, to feel stronger and more empowered by this yoga practice. So close your eyes if you haven't done that yet. Close your eyes and bring yourself into that place of more empowerment, the good posture in your body. Your shoulders, the whole shoulder carriage should be stacked above your hips. So you're not leaning forward but you're bringing yourself into an upright position, shoulders stacked above the hips, above the pelvis. Begin now to find that slow and deep breath. So you're participating in your breath. You're directing the breath right off the bat. You hop on board to be a part of your breathing process. Play around with the breath in a couple different ways, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as though you're blowing out a candle. That's a good way to elongate your breath, especially your exhale. If you're curious about and have found some kind of connection to the nostril breathing, use that you're trying to breathe in and out through your nose. Maybe you're even directing the breath from the left side of your nostril to the right side. You're alternating nostril breath. See what you find to be true for you today. Remember to breathe all the way in and then breathe all the way out. All the way in and then all the way out. Go to that part of your body where you hold stress and tension. You've got a pocket in your body, most people do, where for some reason the stress in their lives lands right there in their body. And it's built up over time. Go there with kindness and compassion and see if you can soften and release some of that. See if today's practice of empowerment by way of good posture will help you free some of that up. Like, I don't need that anymore. I'm aware that that's what's happened. That's been a habit of mine. And it doesn't have to be that way. I choose empowerment, and empowerment might include release. Let those emotions come and go. That's the true nature of that emotional state of ours, is that they come and they go. We don't need to leave them parked inside the body somewhere. Let's turn palms up on your lap. Open your hands. Palms up on the lap has been our mudra of receptivity, receiving now the benefits and blessings of this practice. What do you need from yoga today? This is for you. I've got an overall theme, something I'll be teaching today and reminding you of, but I'll bet each and every one of us has a particular need or a particular desire for this time on in our yoga experience on the chair here. So just identify that for yourself. Go ahead and claim it. That's what you need. That's what you desire. Beautiful. Let's take that exhale all the way out. Let's flutter the eyes open. Get used to the light. Put a little smile on your face. Go ahead. When you turn the corners of your mouth, I don't know about you, but I think it's just absolutely fantastic that is a connection to the good feeling hormones in our body. We have access to that. We turn a smile on our face, bing, chemically our body changes and we have that experience of well-being, lightness of being. So use it. Anytime you can remind yourself of that, we have access to it. All right, so let's get moving now. Inhale those straight arms up, no bend in the elbow, reach up. Let your shoulder blades adjust. We want the shoulder blades to slide down the back. We're not trying to crunch our shoulders up toward our neck and our ears. We're trying to free up the space around our neck while we extend these arms up. Pull back a little bit, pull back a little bit. And then as you come down, I want you to bend those elbows like a W shape. So you're bringing your elbows towards your waistline. And notice the movement of the shoulder blades as we lift up. Because getting our shoulder blades firmly positioned on the back body instead of them trying to migrate toward the front body when we slump our shoulders, that seems to be what's happening. We're going to spend a lot of time in this practice today moving and becoming more comfortable with adjusting the shoulder blades to their right place in the back. So this W arm helps you get a little back bend going as we just lift the straight arms up and those bent elbows come down toward the waist. Let's do that as a vinyasa if you haven't done it already. Inhale is lift up. Exhale is when you're coming down with those bent elbows. Let's meet with the bent elbows now and extend your arms, palms up. Rotate your arms so the thumbs are pointing back. Open palms, stretch your fingers apart. Stretch your hands so you have very open palms, open fingers. Feel the engagement of your arm muscles to do that. Relax your shoulders down and back. Because the engagement of the arms like this is not comfortable. It's not something we're all that used to. It's certainly not in daily activity. We're pretty used to it here in yoga, but just rotating and using the strength of those muscles to do that might change the way you're holding your neck. So we're just going to see if we can remember to keep those shoulder blades back and down. Now turn to look at one hand and then the other. Let's just find out how our neck is doing today. So just a little curiosity here as we hold our strong T shape with the arms. Turn your head to look from one side to the other so you can gather the information about the movement of your neck. How is it? What is the range of movement available this morning? And you really want to add the breath to this. Turning your head from side to side and you more or less dropped your awareness of your breath is not going to give you as much information. So try some deep breathing as you turn from one side to the other. And I'll bet if you're like me, you're already noticing you've had your arms up in some fashion for several minutes now. And so you might be feeling some fatigue. Stay with it now. Let your whole body help you continue to lift your arms up. So press your feet to the floor so your rib cage, seems like your whole body is helping you to keep it up, to keep those arms up. Beautiful. Now, when you bring your head back to neutral, turn your hands so the palms are facing forward, go way back. Feel those shoulder blades move and then go forward. And when you do, you want to create a dome of your back body. Let's do that as an open shoulder blades, feel that, and then dome shape. Pull the belly back. So there should be movement of the spine as well as the movement of the shoulder blades. I want you to see if you can get some movement of the head as well, lifting up your face a little bit, tucking your face down, letting your chin tuck. Open, inhale, close as we exhale. Movement of the spine and awareness of the shoulder blades moving. Big breath in, all the way out. Relax your arms down alongside the frame of the chair, and let's do some shoulder rolls or the reset that your body seems to need right now. Relaxing your arms down finally. Lifting up the chest bone is a big part of what kind of defines a good posture. The chest bone is your sternum. So let's tap. Let's become acquainted with the sternum. There's a little notch at the collarbone there. You can kind of feel where the top of it is. There's a little notch, a little process there that is at the bottom of the sternum. You can kind of just get curious about it. The chest bone or the sternum, that awareness in our body, where that is, lifting it up. What would lifting up the sternum feel like? Pull the belly in. Tap, tap, tap. Let's go all through the width of the collarbone. Just tapping, releasing any pent up energy. Remember that place in your body? I said that, you can identify that, where that is in your body that you store energy. I want you to tap that. So if, it's your neck and shoulders, I'm just giving some idea, tapping into that place in your body where you seem to hold tension. So I'm just kind of exploring all around the body because I want to give you full permission to find it in your body. Tap, 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 wherever that might be. Well, if I've missed your spot, that doesn't mean you know where it is. So you go right to that. Relaxing, releasing, giving some tender, loving care and awareness to that habit. Boy, today you're about empowering. And what if today could be a step toward something new for you, a different way to hold your body? Beautiful. Let's land in the sternum again. Everybody come back to your sternum. Just a tap. And then let's sweep those arms under the armpits. So you're tapping under the armpits. You know, there's a lymphatic system here. We're able to locate some of that major part of the lymph system right under the armpits. So give it, it's almost the palms. It's, you know, it's kind of a full palm, not just fingertips. Beautiful. Down the length of your arm, all the way down, then flip it. So palm is up and all the way down to the hand as well. I'm just kind of taking, you know, flipping it around, tap, tap, tap. We'll go to the other side. Start maybe palms down, and you're going to cover all the whole length of your arm down into your hands. Tap, tap, tap. Flip it around, palm up. Include your hand. Come on down. Back up. Just a couple more times. You're just making your way through the length of your arms with the tapping. Another part of the body that has a lot of influence about the way we hold our shoulders is the pec muscles. Can you feel your pec muscles? I want you to just be aware of the pec muscles right in here. So part of the armpit chest. So take a moment to just sort of massage or get some mindfulness about your pec muscles. When they get short, when we're sitting in a position of poor posture where our shoulders are rolled, and we do that habitually, those pec muscles start to shorten. And so all of a sudden, they don't even have any ability to move back because they've tightened up and shortened. So we're going to start now, as we move into some individual shoulder rolls, that you're going to start to stretch that out, loosen up some of the tightness of the pec muscle. So one arm at a time is coming into these shoulder rolls. I say turn your head the way it feels like you should. So if you want to turn your head and you're kind of helping by turning your body in the direction of that shoulder roll, absolutely. Do what feels right to you, what feels natural. This movement should feel natural. Pulling up, back, and down. And try to notice, get curious about when you turn your head. Does that feel different? When you position your head a little differently, does it feel different in the movement? Because there's so much connectivity, right, between the shoulders, the neck, the upper arm there. I mean, they all have some common streams. Now pull it back and then slip that hand behind your back. I'm almost sitting on mine. I got it way back there, palm down. So just get it back there where it feels like it's not going to go anyplace. You've got it sort of well positioned. It's pulled that shoulder back. It's stretched open into that pec muscle there. Pull it back, turn to look in that direction. You're turning and looking over there. So you're going to find yourself in a little twist. Make sure your spine stays neutral, and that means straight up and down. There could be some tendency to lean a little bit. So keep your trunk of your body upright, very vertical. Bring your other hand over to cross the thigh and just hold that, pulling back with that shoulder, that upper arm. And you're going to notice you're into the pec muscle a little bit, and you're placing your shoulder blade in a good and proper place. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Can you turn your head any amount at all to look behind you in this direction? Keep using your shoulder to give you more, of a green light here, more space to move into. So you're pulling your shoulder blade toward the midline to allow you to turn your head to look behind you a little bit more. Find your breath. We're going to unwrap the head first. So unwind the head first. first, and then bring your shoulders back to a neutral position. Not do some just movements of the body. Shoulder rolls might be part of it. Any kind of movements of your body to just sort of reset. And then we're going to move our way into the other side now, where it's individual shoulder roll. Remember, it does make a difference if you have your hand on your lap while you're doing the shoulder blade, while you're doing the shoulder roll. It's going to be a little bit different experience than when you have your arm alongside the chair, because your arm is heavier. This is going to be more work and therefore perhaps more benefit. But if you just don't have the strength and you need a little bit of a shortcut here, not a way to adjust, hand on the lap would give that to you. And yet you're still moving and getting that some stretch and movement, loosening up that tightness of the pec muscle. There's a couple pec muscles, but I'm just going to call it in general that. And I just started thinking of that, turning your head. You know, you might, again, want to turn your body a little bit, turn your head so you can feel it differently. You can feel the connection of the movement of the head with this action. You can feel the connection of how your neck feels while you're doing it. A couple more of these. At your own pace, no racing. We don't have to race through it. And then we're going to slip that hand way back behind us. So the same side that we were just doing the shoulder roll, slip your hand as far back and kind of bound underneath you somehow, so it feels very stable back there. And then we can bring the other arm across to the outside of our thigh. Find the verticality of your spine. Squeeze your block. Give yourself some awareness of the central channel, and bring yourself into a vertical position of your body. Requires a little balance through the pelvis. So you're noticing if you're leaning into one butt cheek more so than the other, you're going to make a little shift so it feels balanced and equally distributed. And our holding, as we keep breathing and holding, is encouraging more movement of your head to look behind you, perhaps. Be curious about the sensation you feel. Where do you feel it when you do this? When you keep adding a little more look behind you, where is that felt in your body? So you could give breath to that. You can offer more breathing into that part. Good. Let's exhale completely here. Turn your head to come out of that. And then turn both shoulders to come out, and we're going to reset the body. Let's put the block underneath our chair for now and open up our feet a little wider and start some circular movement. Try to keep your head, neck, and spine in alignment. So it's just like a single action. You know, if my hand represents your head, you're not circling your head around. You're keeping your spine and your head circling together. So that's the idea I'm just reminding you of. Try to keep that neutrality, that the spine and the head alignment is just stable. So the movement feels more located in the pelvis. Moving through the pelvic bowl here. This is a good way to just start smoothing out the breath again and feeling there's almost a restfulness about this to me because of this rocking action. And then stop in the middle and take a time to turn around, move the opposite direction now. So make the circle go in the other way. Same rules apply. You want to keep your head, neck, and spine aligned and stabilized. The movement feels all about the pelvic bowl. And then wherever else you feel it in the lower part of your body, perhaps. Let's right away come in. I turn to the side. You don't need to. Just want to remind you of where we're headed. We're going to come into that half lift. So bring your chest down, chest down. Hands are on your thighs, elbows squeezing into your waist. I want you to move forward and back with that. So just find some movement where you're bringing that long spine forward and then back up. So you feel your body weight shifting into your legs. And this is where we're going to work the perineum like we do. So this is very common ground for most of us. Palms on the thighs, and we're really putting some pressure there so we feel very planted with those strong legs and those strong feet. Inhale now as you lift the perineum. That's the floor of your pelvis, lifting it up off the chair. hold it and release it back. So find your rhythm of breath. Inhale helps you lift it, lift and hold, and then you exhale and relax. Something you could add if you're curious about it is that we have worked with an O shape, holding your mouth in an O shape, and let the inhale come through that O shape. And then we also add some dimension that includes vagal tone, which is great for the whole overall system, the nervous system in general. So we can just slip it in here, breathing in through the O shape of the mouth. And then we can kind of get two benefits at once. We're not only toning and strengthening the pelvic floor, but we're also incorporating some movement in the mouth and the breath work through the mouth, which coincidentally just calms the nervous system. It has to do with vagal tone. Stay with it. Remember, retention is the best thing you can do. Is you lift and hold. You're going to try to retain that as much as you're able to do. A couple more. And release that breath all the way out. And then I want you to just slide down your legs so you can lay yourself into your thighs and your knees and let your head hang, look down and underneath the chair, deepen into that, surrender to this as much as you are able, and then find big belly breathing. This is our way into the inside of the internal organs. This is our entryway point. We fold forward. The breathing now feels like it's all squished up in the belly, relating to that. And we're going to be encouraging deeper belly type breaths so that we can create more circulation in those internal organs. Big belly breath, surrendering the best you can the weight of your head to look down and underneath the chair. It's a good low back stretch, which for me, I've had a weekend where for whatever reason had a lot of strain and pain in my low back. So this is a beautiful stretch for that as well. Let's jump our hands to our thighs now. Squeeze your elbows into your waistline. Come halfway up. Come halfway up. Press your feet to the floor. Get real strong with your legs. See if you can feel that sternum now lifting up, lifting up. Shoulder blades squeeze toward each other's. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. Can you spread your arms away from you like wings? But you're going to be thinking chest bone lifting up, pec muscles opening. So the arms stretching back gives you access again to those pec muscles. Find your breath right here. Strong legs, pec muscles. Can you feel that? Lift yourself all the way up. Palms will come together. Let's look up. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come all the way around. We're going to do that again. Let's feel some movement in the shoulder blades. It's a lift up, go way back. Trace that movement through the shoulder blades. Big inhale up. Let's hold it now. Grab hold of your elbows, pull back a little bit. And let's just settle in, deepening the breath. See if you can trace the breath right down to the tailbone. So feel how you've got yourself in a great position of feeling some expansion in the front body, opening up. This is a counter to the poor posture, isn't it? This is like the opposite of poor posture, at least the way that the expression in the front body is. Very open. For good, strong back muscles, we also need good, strong side muscles. So let's try some side-to-side movement. Now, if you can't hold your elbows like I'm showing, what can you hold? Maybe it's closer to the forearms or your wrists for you. Find some way to kind of bind your arms together like this in the way that, gives you access. And it's the binding. That's what I'm going for, is that we're kind of keeping ourselves in this position. We're holding on. I want you to pay attention to your head a little bit here. So as you tick-tock from side to side, I use tick-tock like a clock tick-tocking. I notice myself, I guess I'm using a word that's common in our pop culture nowadays, but it's not that. I have no idea about that. Side to side movement. So you're making sure your ears, that you're aware of how your head is moving, and it feels neutral, very stable and exactly neutral, because you're aware of how your ears sort of face the arm and they have the arm come real close to it. That's very supportive. One more time on each side. Good workout for the sides, the side abdominal wall. When we come back out of it, let's use a big backstroke to come out of it. Very intentional, all the way up, all the way down. Good. Let's hold on to the chair now and start lifting up our feet. So just start by getting your feet up off the floor. Knees are bent. And then can you see how there's a collapse that wants to come? We start to work lifting those legs up, then our upper body wants to sort of collapse. So holding onto the chair might give us as far back. I'm holding onto the chair as far back into the chair as I can, because it's helping me stay in good posture by our definition today, that we're lifting the sternum and making sure the pecs are opened up. Way back there. Let's meet with the right leg. So get that right leg up there and then straighten it out. Straighten it out. Hold your leg any way you need to so it's a straight leg. Straight leg. Push through the sole of your foot. Pull yourself into, use the leverage of holding onto your leg so that you can pull yourself into good posture with the spine long, the chest is open. Full breath in and full breath out. Strong, straight leg, as straight as you can do it. Let's move that foot around. We're going to get into the ankle joint now. So maybe you point your toe, you spread your toes, you do all kinds of things that you can feel that movement through the joints of the ankle and foot. Posture though, we're holding on, giving ourselves some leverage. So we're still very upright with the spine. Chest is open. Deepen the breath. Beautiful. Let's hug that knee into the chest. Use your shin to pull that leg in and flex the foot. Pull it in. Good posture. Get your shoulders back. And when we pull it in, we're back into that, some gentle compression into the internal organs. You're into your organs of digestion here. Foot to the floor. Let's take a little pause. Ready, set. We're going to start getting your hands way back there again. Lift up. Lift those legs up, including you're trying to get your foot way up. And use good posture. So you're just trying to keep the pec open, pec muscle stretched open, the chest bone lifted. We're going to switch to the other leg now. We're going to pay our attention over here. Lift it up, get a hold of it, straighten it out. However it is you can hold on to the leg. Straight leg as you can. Lift up your chest, deepen your breath. Feel the alignment of the spine. Feel how you're holding your head in relation to your shoulders and your spine. All of that adds up to good posture. Right alignment, we call it in yoga a lot of times, right? Right alignment of the spine. Deepen the breath. Nice strong leg. And you're using that as some leverage so you can keep yourself upright. Now, let's move into the foot. So I want you to start, maybe adjust how you're holding it, and so that you can move around, spread your toes, point, flex, move through the ankle. As straight a leg as you can do, and as upright in the way you're sitting, you're as upright as you can manage. No tension in the mouth. Check that out. Make sure you're not gritting your teeth. Let's hug that knee into the chest. Use your shin to pull it way in. Again, some leverage so you're back to an upright position, very flexed foot. Big belly breath. So get your breath moving in the way that is right into the felt experience of your front body there. More circulation into the organs of digestion. Beautiful. Both feet to the floor. Let's try a little open and close with the legs. So we're going to bring ourselves into more or less the goddess position. So elbows are bent, palms are wide open. I find myself kind of at the very front edge of the chair. So I have the ability to move into this open and closed position. So let's take a big inhale here, opening, and exhale, bringing everything together at the midline. Open and close. Or inhale and exhale. However it is you're finding your rhythm, we're associating the movement with the breath. And just notice in your body how your chest bone, you're just trying to elevate your chest bone. You're trying to really experience how you hold your body, how you hold your chest bone. We're going to meet with the closed position and do some crunching. And sometimes it helps to just interlace your fingers. So again, you're binding your arms together. And if elbows together does not fit in your body, find another way that it fits in your body to just kind of bind your arms so you can move up and down through some crunching action or some, workout for your abdominal strength here in that front abdominal wall. And if you've been curious in today's practice about the movement through the spine, or perhaps, lifting up your chest bone, you can notice that here. Just bring yourself home to your body the way it just seems to be talking to you today. It's like it's informing you in a different way today. So your movement in this very familiar thing we do, this is not new to our practice at all, but maybe you're experiencing it different today because of our emphasis. I'll meet you right here upright, and we're going to open that up. Extend the arms so palms are up. Stretch your hands open. Turn to look from one hand to the other. Find your breath. Maybe you're catching up with your breath a little bit. And let's get our hands on the chair. Bring your legs up in the air and back down. So kind of tilt back. Feet come together. We're going to use this action to get us out of the chair. Lift up, feet to the floor. Bring yourself all the way up out of the chair and find your mountain pose. Get close enough to the chair that you can feel it on your back of your legs. Inhale up and exhale down. Doesn't this just help you lift and lengthen through the spine? Lift up. Palms come together up there. Find your full breath in and out. Exhale now, bow to your heart. Let's just pause right there. Close your eyes. We don't have to grab the block, but I want you to imagine the block is between your thighs and you're squeezing that. Softening the knees. There's just a micro bend of the knees, squeezing the imaginary block. Feel how the surface of your feet is connected to the earth. Be mindful of that experience. Try to broaden it so you're feeling a lot of sensation in the whole surface of your foot. Catching up with the breath and pausing now into this kind of prayerful way to check in. And how any of this might fit for you, that you have felt a difference, that your mood is sometimes reflected in your body, and your body reflects in your mood. It's just like there is a connection there. I get it. Smooth out your breath now, breathing all the way in and all the way out. Let's lift up now. Inhale, palms come back up, and exhale, a big backstroke all the way around. I'm going to have us interlace our hands behind the back, and we're pulling the knuckles back. How you are positioned according to your chair is up to you. If you need to be in a position so you've got lots of support, stay nearby. If you can clear it a little bit and step away and soften those knees, we're going to do a forward fold here. So I want you to start by lifting the knuckles and the hands back and away, kind of a pulsing action of lifting and then relaxing down. I've got quite a softness of the knee. Let's pull the belly in. That's going to help stabilize the whole body with a nice strong core. pulling back and away. Neutral head, you don't need to be watching the screen. Now soften, soften. We're going to do a forward fold. Keep your hands really glued together. They'll do it. They will do it. Fold your belly and chest way down towards your thighs and your knees. Let your hands reach as far up toward the ceiling as you can manage. Now think about those pec muscles. This is a beautiful entryway into stretching and opening and lengthening those pec muscles. Surrender deeply the weight of your head. If you're trying to look out and away, you're really compromising the neck. You don't need to. You can just have ease in your neck if you'll just allow yourself to just sort of hang here. Now release your hands like ragdoll arms. Oh my gosh, can you feel that? The release of that, and then all of a sudden, whoo, those heavy arms just fall down to the chair, down toward the floor. Now let's get our hands on our shins right under the kneecaps and lift yourself up to a half lift. So you're getting yourself up to that L shape. Maybe it's just your finger pads that's touching your shins. Maybe you've got a different way of holding, but lifting your chest up, chest up, chest up, creating a flat back, like a tabletop back. Don't look out at the screen. Just stay right where you are. Feel your way into this. Pull your chin in towards your throat a little bit. Let's deepen the breath here. Rock your body into your toes so it's not just the heels of your feet, but you can feel the strength of all of your foot holding you up, including your toes. Chest. Can you feel your chest? Spread your arms away from you like wings, not too much. Keep your arms pretty close to you, but palms are facing the floor. Your fingertips are reaching back. Chest. Can you keep pulling into your pec muscles? Now soften the knees quite a bit so you can lift yourself. Let those arms help you come all the way up. Just meet me with arms extended up. Imagine that block between your thighs. Give it a squeeze. Take your hand and grab your wrist so we can pull that arm. So the hand that's facing the ceiling, that's the one we're pulling over top the head. I want you to do it with switching every time. Switch from one hand to the other every time. And if you're finding it's a little bit of a balance challenge to have your feet only hips distance apart, go ahead and open up your feet a little wider. Give yourself a little wider base so you feel more stable about this movement. One more on each side, a stretch on each side. And when we come up, I want you to just imagine you got your palms trying to stretch up toward the ceiling. So palms are reaching up, wrists are quite flexed. And then bring those to push out toward the walls alongside you. So push out, hands and wrists are very flexed. And then all the way down, same thing on the floor, like you're trying to press the floor from right here. And then when you soften and relax that, I want you to just circle around in your wrists, release some of that tension now. Move your fingers around. Let's position ourselves. I think the block could be moved away from our activities here. So let's stand alongside it so the chair seat is available to you. Here's where we're headed. We're going to lift up, and as we pull ourselves over, see if you can get your hand to that chair. I got quite a bend in this standing leg, and I'm going to just see about lifting this leg any amount. So arm is overhead, and the other leg is available to either just lift and hold. It doesn't have to be at hip height. It could be, but you're lifting at any amount. One-legged balance, very strong. Find your breath. Bend their knees so you can get your feet to the floor comfortably and get your hands to come right back up. Inhale and exhale down. Shake it out. Let's try the other side now. So we're just going to position ourselves so we have access to the chair seat on the other way. Lift up, grabbing a wrist, The very same side bend that we did, but we're going to get our hand all the way down to the chair seat and then free up your arm and your leg. Any amount of lift. And you might decide you want to move this. It's not just something you want to hold, but you actually want to do some moving with it. Or you could hold it. Play around with it. Pay attention to what's going on right there with you. You don't need to watch me. You pay attention to your chair and your body and how this works for you. Deepen the breath. Let's get hands to the chair seat now. Come all the way down so the hands, both hands are on your chair seat. I'll bet you can use this now for downward dog. Let's just start stepping away. Hands are on the chair seat and we start moving back into our downward dog. Arms are very close to the ears, close to the head. Same distance that you have between your feet. That's what I'd like you to try to have between your hands, same distance apart. Let's try to straighten out the legs now. Let's give a good stretch to the hamstrings and the calves. Straighten out your legs as best as you can. Notice the neck. So pull your chin in towards your throat. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. Deepen the breath and elongate through your armpit chest, down to the fingertips. But remember, you don't need to put a lot of pressure on from your hands into the chair seat. Your body is held by the feet to the floor, by the strength of your legs. Start walking now, walk toward the chair, and we're going to end up in our position of tabletop. So you've got your wrists right under your shoulders. You're very close to the chair. Let's do a little abdominal strengthening here before we move into Shavasana. I want you to just lift your foot up off the floor, very bent knee, and it feels like you're trying to touch your nose towards your knee. And then you extend a straight leg back and you lift your chest up, chest. So move through this rounded back, face toward knee, and extend it. So lots of things going on here for strength, strengthening the core. It's a balance. And you can also feel the movement of your chest. Head, neck, spine. Feel that alignment. One more time. Both feet to the floor. Let's bend the knees quite a bit and come all the way up. Lift up your hands. And exhale down. Lift up. Look up if that feels good. And exhale down. One more time. Inhale up, reach up. Exhale down. I'm not going to move the chair, but we are switching sides. So I got hands back into now our tabletop position. We want to do the other leg. So you're bending the other knee up towards your face, rounding through, extending a straight leg and lifting up your chest. Let's try to match this up with breath. Inhale is the straight leg and the lift of the chest. Exhale is the rounded back, face toward knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Can you do it one more time? Both feet to the floor. Let's do one more downward dog. So just start walking back. Stretch it out. Arms real close to your ears and your head. Pull the belly in. Straighten the legs out as best you can. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. No strain in the neck. Good stretch for the legs. Feel your connection to the earth. I can feel the connection to the earth even with my hands on the chair. It's solid, it's steady. And that all says connection to the earth, grounding to me. Let's start walking toward the chair. Come up nice and easy. Take a pause right where you are. Just stand up in your mountain pose. Take a pause right where you are. Catch up with your breath. Your blood pressure is adjusting, and you're just going to wait. Good. Now it's time for Shavasana. So I want you to locate, if you're using 2 chairs, and now is the time that you often go grab your second chair. Great. Do that now. Or you can come into whatever posture you use. Perhaps you're using a lounge chair or something, a recliner in your room, in your house where you are set up. So wherever that is, I like a ritual about it. I like to just calmly bring myself into that, get my covers, get my socks on, or whatever it is that makes me feel warm and cared for and cared about. And just coming into a place that feels very relaxed and very, nurturing. Once you're settled, lay your hands across your chest bone. So one hand and then the other, just lay your palms right there. This is, of course, in the yoga energy body, this is considered the heart center, the energy center of the heart. See if you can just bring that awareness of the fact that this is energy of the heart that you're kind of embracing, and let yourself be filled with that. That as you breathe and you just feel, I feel like it's just a little bit of a hug, but it's absolutely a place that feels loving and tender toward myself. And there's a warmth about it. Feel your breath as you just hold yourself here. You can feel, in the palms of your hands, you can feel your breathing. Check in with that part of your body that we identified at the beginning, that part of our body where we often hold stress. How's it doing now? And maybe instead of your hands at your heart, you decide, I think I'm going to hold myself there. I'm going to hold my shoulders, or I'm going to hold my low back, or I'm going to hold my body in the way that is nurturing that part of me. And we start to recognize the way that we can take care of ourselves, making shifts, looking at habits like poor posture and saying, yep, yeah, I did kind of develop that. I was busy. I didn't think about it. It wasn't intentional. I think that's all probably true. But now we seem to have an opportunity to look again, to bring our loving awareness to some of these habits, the way we hold ourselves, and make a change, invite something new. It feels more life-giving, feels more tender-hearted toward ourselves. And we feel empowered by that. We can make a change step by step. It's called a practice. So let your hands be wherever you need them to be. If you haven't already, just holding your heart, if that still works for you, if it still feels good and tender, great. But anything that feels relaxing now and calming. Let's not overthink. Let's bring ourselves fully into the awareness of the breath, because it's easy access. We can feel the breath. We can almost hear our breath, and it gives us a focal point. It's how we can meditate Our mind is going to want to chatter. It's going to want to take you to the very next thing that's happening after this in just a few minutes. So it's like you've left the room. That happens. Bring yourself gently back into the room, back into breath awareness. I like those mantras. Breathe in, out, in, out. Very quiet because eyes are closed. You're in a place that's all your own. It's very intimate. It's like all of your senses are tuned into this breath. Let's change the mantra. Breathe deep and slow. Inhale, we use the word deep. Exhale, we use the word slow. Deep and slow. Your rhythm, however that is, your natural rhythm, that's what you're focusing on, bringing your loving awareness to the rhythm of your own breath. And finally, let's use the words calm and ease. Such a beautiful series or sequence of mantras to bring us now into the place of calm and ease. Beautiful. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale that out as a sigh. Keep your eyes closed. Do another big breath like that, big cleansing breath. And then scooch up now. Let's get our feet back to the floor. Let's get ourselves positioned in the chair seat so we're not resting into the backrest anymore, but we found ourselves in good posture. Lifting the chest bone up, pulling those sternums, pulling those pec muscles opening up. Don't ask me where that word came from. Don't know. Upright, very beautiful posture. And bring your palms together right there at the heart. Eyes are still closed here. So the prayer position in India, this is called the Namaste position. This is just a way of being over in India. It's a way of saying hello. Stay there with your hands in the prayer position. Thumbs are pressing into the sternum. That's where you are. And I'll just remind us now of what this means. I honor the place in you that is the same in me. I honor the place in you where the whole universe resides. I honor the place in you of love, of light, of peace, and of truth. I honor the place in you that is the same in me. There is but one. Inhale, everybody. Hands come up and overhead. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale back up. Let's share this beautiful energy with our community. And we bring our palms again together at the heart. Namaste, my friends. Great. Thanks so much for joining me.